The midterm elections are exactly 9 months from today, November 3rd. But even at this very moment, the future of our elections feels like an urgent issue. Here's what President Donald Trump says about our American elections.
The Republicans should say, we want to take over. We should take over the voting in at least 15 places. The Republicans ought to nationalize the voting.
Today, White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt was asked about those very comments. Here's what she had to say.
The president believes in the United States Constitution. However, he believes there has obviously been a lot of fraud and irregularities that have taken place in American elections. And again, voter ID is a highly popular and common sense policy that the president wants to pursue, and he wants to pass legislation to make that happen for all states across the country.
That right there, a top White House official saying, quote, the president believes in the Constitution, then adding the word however. In a case this White House needs a reminder, let us take a look at Article 1, Section 4. The times, places, and manner of holding elections for senators and representatives shall be prescribed in each state by the legislature thereof. By the Congress may at any time by law make or alter such regulations. This all comes just days after Trump's FBI seized 2020 election ballots from Fulton County, Georgia. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution obtained local police body camera of that very search, and here's a bit of it.
This is all in regards to election side stuff.
You know where we're here, right? So I can't discuss more.
I got you.
More than that, but as long as we keep, the big thing is just trying to keep media. Someone let media in here and keep media clear out of here.
What's happening now is that their warrant is wrong. It had the wrong. It's not in elections possession. It's in clerk's possession.
The warrant will be amended slightly, but for all intents and purposes, what they had is what it's going to look like. We wanted to let her facilitate us moving through the building to unlock the gates so that we don't have to breach it, because one way or the other, the records are coming with us today.
Meanwhile, the DOJ's document dump from the Epstein files is having massive ripple effects. Tomorrow, a federal judge was supposed to consider shutting down the department's Epstein Files website because of the victims' names that were disclosed. But this evening, that hearing was canceled at the request of the victims' lawyers after the department assured the survivors in the court case that it will work to quickly correct these problems in a manner that protects them from further harm. Well, today, Bill and Hillary Clinton finalized their deals to give closed-door testimony to the House Oversight Committee about Epstein. This will happen at the end of the month. The Clintons cut that deal to avoid possible contempt charges for defying a subpoena. Now Democrats are pointing out that this sets a precedent for issuing subpoenas for former presidents and their family members to testify. Get ready, boys and girls. Democratic Congressman Maxwell Frost said the following: it does set a precedent and we will follow it. Donald Trump, all of his kids, everybody, end quote. Of course, for that to happen, Democrats would have to take back control of the House or the Senate, which brings us back to where we started this evening, the importance of the future of our elections. It's time to get smarter. With the help of our leadoff panel, Jeff Mason joins us, Washington correspondent and new senior member of the White House and politics team at Bloomberg News. Leanne Caldwell, chief Washington correspondent for Puck, and James Sample, law professor at Hofstra University and former attorney at the Brennan Center for Justice's Democracy Program. All right, James, this is your bread and butter. What is your reaction to what the president is saying and some of the specific changes he wants to see with our elections? Because if you just say in passing, sure, voter ID, people should have to, show their license. A lot of people would say that's common sense. You have to do that to buy cigarettes or beer.
So when the executive says, let's nationalize the elections, and he goes even a step further and says, let's nationalize the elections and let's have Republicans, a part of, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, when you start talking about having a particular party take control of elections, you are not talking about election integrity. So you can talk voter ID all the livelong day. You're not talking about election integrity. You're actually talking about, and you quoted the exact provision, Article 1, Section 4 of the Constitution. You're talking about going contra to the Constitution. And so when your press secretary stands there and says, and has to reassure America that the president of the United States believes in the Constitution,